Today we're back with Classy. She's going to be experiencing the saddle for her first time. I expect it to be a no-issue process. I've worked diligently with the surcingle and the bumpers on the sides. She's had tons of desensitizing with the stick and string, plastic, tarping, all of that you've seen, and you want to get that really good on the ground. I spend the first 30 days when a horse comes to be started under saddle nothing but the groundwork and desensitizing. So by the time we get to the saddle, which will be today, it should be a non-issue. I don't want to buck. I have a no buck policy, and I do everything I can to avoid that because I don't want that going into my horse's brain as part of their cellular memory. I want the horse to accept the saddle, for me to be sitting on them, and it's not a big deal because I've been doing all of that without the saddle, but they've been cinched, they've had a lot of things on their body. This should not be a big deal. So I'm just going to lever up for a minute. Can you get your head down? There you go. And can I love you right here? Can I love you right here? Very nice right there. Give me your nose. Very good girl. So I always start my sessions the same, safe and loving place, each time. Good girl. Right there. Good girl. So now I'm going to go get the saddle. No, you don't get to walk off. Back up. Back up, back up, back up. Good girl. I'm going to go get the saddle and the saddle pad. You need to stand. And I'm going to introduce her to them. Stand. Good girl. Good girl. Keep reinforcing your horse with appreciation so they know that they're doing the right thing. Good girl. She's watching me. Very good. Very good. Very good girl. So I use an old, used saddle, one that smells like my horse's, hair all over it, horse sweat all over it. So it's no big deal. Now I have desensitized her with the tarp. I've laid on her. At this point, none of this should be a big deal. And it doesn't matter, in my opinion, which side that you tack up your horse. They should be able to take the tack from either side. So I'm going to do the blanket on the near side. Good girl, no big deal, very good. And then I'm going to do the saddle on the off side. And remember, I have swung so many things over her head, on her body. I've laid on her, I've sat on her, I have desensitized her. This should not be a big deal. So up and over, good girl. Very good, very good. Now if your horse starts having a problem with it, you need to go back and desensitize your horse. Spend more time sacking them out with the tarp, get the blanket, get the pad. She's now wearing her horse blanket at night so we can keep her clean for her sessions during the day. Good job. And she's had a lot of cinching with the surcingle, so this should not be a big deal. And she's just standing there. Very good. Very good girl. So I'm going to have the lead rope over my shoulder in case I need to grab it. I'm just going to lever up. Good girl. And I'm going to rub her belly just like I did with the surcingle and grab that cinch. Very good. Now it's real important when you first cinch the saddle, that you cinch it good, because if that horse starts freaking out, starts bucking, you don't want your saddle rolling. So I'm going to cinch her, and I'm going to cinch, not going to cut her in half, but I'm going to cinch enough that the saddle won't move. Good girl. Good girl. Very good. Now I can see I'm going to need to take the cinch down on the other side. So I'm going to undo. Not a big deal. This is almost like a touch and retreat. Not a big deal. Good girl. She's had so many things on her body, including me, that this is just not a big deal. Good girl. We have some distraction over here. We have some horses causing noise. They want attention. So she's looking over there like, what's going on over there? What are they doing? Reach again. Whoops. Loosen that lead up. Reach again. Rub that belly. And reach. Very good. This should not be an issue. She's had the surcingle and the bumpers, just like the saddle. Front and back cinch. Shouldn't be an issue. Good girl. She's doing exactly what I expect. To stand still. No big deal. Okay, so now I'm going to stroke her neck, and I'm going to cinch this up. I'm going to get it good. And get out of the way. Good. Get back, get back, get back, get back. Get back, get back. Good girl. If she was going to blow up, I want to get out of the way. I want to control her feet. Good girl. She shouldn't blow up, and she hasn't, but you never know. There's still a horse. Now, I'm going to keep my distance. I'm not going to go and love her up yet. Do that later. I'm going to keep her out of my space, so back her up. Back up, back up, back up. Good girl. Now I'm going to lunge. See how she does. Oh, she's right away in speed. That's all right. She right away got going. Good girl, good girl. 1 and 2 and 3. That way. Good girl. Good girl. And this is her more difficult side. On her bottom, you can see she's like, oh, a little bit. Oh, that's kind of weird. It's bouncing on me. It's a little different feel. Saddle bouncing is kind of weird. That's all right. Good job. She's doing a good job. And I'm going to change direction again. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, she's got to get a little warmed up there. Good girl. And now, 1 and 2 and 3. Good girl. That was very good. Can I get your head down? And I stay off to the side a little bit at first. I want to be right in front of a horse. If all of a sudden she goes, oh, the saddle, and leaps forward, I want to make sure I'm out of the way. Good girl. So you want to keep yourself safe. Safe distance in case your horse reacts. I don't expect her to, but I'm cautious nonetheless. Very, very good. All right. So I'm going to cinch her up a little bit more because I do want to mount and see how she does with me getting on. So it's a little tighter. I'm going to get out of the way because that's a lot tighter now. I actually went up 2 holes on that. She said, ooh, okay. Let's go this way. Nope. Nope. Asking you this way. Out of my space, out of my space. Good girl. Good girl. Very good. Very good. This is really great. She's doing an awesome job. And 1 and 2 and 3. Good girl. Out of my space. Excellent, Classy. Excellent. What a good girl. What a good girl. And a 1 rein stop. And I'm not going to do an up and over because I haven't desensitized this saddle yet. So I'm going to ask him for that nose. And sometimes that pinching, can really kind of freak him out. But remember, she's had all of that surcingle work. So she should be doing just fine, which she is. She is living up to my expectation. Now I'm going to do a little desensitizing with the saddle. Put my hand on her neck, shorten my lead rope, and tap. Something new. Ooh, she's a little worried about that. That's all right. Oh, I'm going to keep tapping until she stops moving. Oh, she's a little worried. See, when I go sit on there, good, good. I don't want her freaking out, so I better check. Make sure things like if a branch was to brush her saddle, if we're out on the trail, that she's not going to freak out about that. Good job. The noise and that feel. Good. I'm going to check with this. Now, she's had the bumpers, so this should not be an issue. Good girl. Oh, it is. It's a little bit of an issue, so we're going to work that. It's all right. It's all right. I pull that nose. Keeps her feet, her rear end, moving away from me. Hold. But I'm not going to stop this until she stops moving her feet. Good girl. And then I rub. Good girl. And a deep breath and head down. And I want you to think about that. So I'm going to stick my fingers in that mouth, get that mouth working. Good. And let her think about that for me. So she had a little bit of a worry. That's good to know. Boy, I want to know that now. Because when I mount, and if this fender flails in any way, send her into a bolt or a buck. I don't want to do that. I want to find that out on the ground. Good job. Good job. So let's try that again. Good girl. So I started out light, and then I kind of upped the pressure, and she started moving. There. Good girl. That's right. Desensitize on the right side. So I'm going to tip that nose just a little bit. There we go. Yep. Start baby steps. And then up that pressure. She's moving a little bit. That's all right. Just stay with her. Keep my hand on her neck. You're all right. You're all right. Certainly don't want this to be an issue. I don't mind that she's moving off the pressure so much. Good girl. Good girl. But I need her to learn the difference between the flex, the disengagement, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to flex that nose, Now I'm going to ask for the disengagement. Good girl. She's got to disengage though. There, excellent. That was good. Big difference asking with the pointed pressure and flapping those fenders. I don't want her moving when I flap the fenders, but I do want her to disengage when I ask. Very good. Oh, nice, nice. And she really is able to disengage much better. She had chiropractic, so she's feeling much better. Her hip and sacrum really needed some adjusting. She's had a baby, so she wasn't able to disengage as nicely, and she did much better. It's going to take a little while to get her muscles in shape, though. But she's doing great. Awesome. All right. That was very good. Now I'm going to tie up that girth. I'll get my helmet, and I will start mounting. Good girl. Very nice. Very nice. Good girl. Very, very good. Okay. Here, I want her to be comfortable. Nope, stand there, please. Good girl. Good job. Okay. Now I'm going to have her square up just a little bit. See how her feet are a little off? There. Want her to feel stable when I get on. Good girl. Now we've done this before, but without the saddle. You know, I've laid on her, I've sat on her, all of that. Jump and joke. She'd be just fine. The difference is I'm going to put my foot in the stirrup. So I'm going to tip that nose just a little bit. There. Good girl. Good girl. I'm going to put my foot in that stirrup. Good job. Keep that nose tipped. Stand up. Good. Wave. Tip that nose. Good girl. Wave a little bit. Good. I'm going to lay on her. Good girl. So she's familiar with all of this, but without the saddle. Difference is just the saddle between us. Very good. But it's all very familiar. Good job. Good job. And she's licking and chewing on that. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Spend the time on the ground, and it'll translate under saddle so much more safely. This is the end of her first 30 days, and all of the work was done on the ground, and now it's a piece of cake with the saddle. Good girl. See how she flexes so nicely? And stand up. Good girl. And lever up. Swing a little bit. Not a big deal. It's all the same. Pull my foot out. Put my feet up. Wiggle, wiggle. Oh, some sand came off my boots. Kind of scary. Lever up. Patter, patter, patter. Very good. Very good. And off. Very nice. What do you think of that? Do you think I can get on? Can I have you right here? There you go. There you go. I want you to think about that, though. Yeah, that was the first time. I want you to think about that. What do you think? Is that good? Adjust yourself there. That's fine. I will move this mounting block just a tiny bit there. All right, now I'm going to mount. So I'm going to flex that nose. Good. Good. See how she holds her feet. Very good. She stands quietly compared to her buddy. I'm going to just sit gently. Very good. Just gently. You don't want to plop on your horse. I'm going to reach down and lever up. Safe and loving place. Very good. Flex. Flex. And then release. Very good, girl. Very good. Now I'm going to dismount just as gently as I mounted. Good girl. And slide off. Very good. Whoops, we've lost the sound. And we'll mount the other side. good girl. Very good girl. Very good. Very good. Now, if she was having a freak out about this, I'd go back to the basics. This should not be a big deal. So give me that nose. Give me that nose. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm going to mount gently up. Sit very gently. Tip that nose. It's all right. Can I have your nose, please? Very good. I love you right here. Very, very good. Very good. Now I'm going to reach down. Whoops, she's a little off balance there. There we go. Good. Good. I don't want to tip her over. I didn't ask for that flex that deeply, but she did that, so that's all right. And now I'm going to ask her this way. Good. Good. And I'm just gently sitting on her. I'm really standing in my stirrups more than anything. And I'm just going to sit, put my weight on her. Good. Very good girl. Very good girl. And the only thing new is the saddle. I've done this already with her. The flexing is new, though. From side to side, this is new. Excellent. Good. I really want that good. Very good, because this is the setup to my emergency handbrake, to my one rein stop. If she was to freak out, I'd need to be able to shut her down. Give me that nose. Good. Good. And flex this way. One more, and then we're going to be done. Give me that nose. Good girl. I'm going to wiggle a little bit. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And I'm going to dismount. Oh. Good girl. Good girl. Very, very good. So that ends the session today. Tomorrow, I'll be mounting and having her walk forward, moving off my pressure.